Okay, keeping the momentum and the enthusiasm for poetry going. Penultimate performer, like her big achievement was she traveled around Sri Lanka by herself. Did you tell your mum? Did you tell your mum? You told her before or after? A little bit before. All right, at least it wasn't during. All right, you know, it's one of them I need money phone calls, right? Okay, so big round of applause for the world traveler, Orin Begum. Okay, big round of applause.
We are born of the earth, soaked in the blood of martyrs who lived and died for freedom. So it's no wonder the politics gene found its way into our DNA too. But somewhere between the Sheikh Hasinas and the Benazir Bhuttos and the Indira Gandhis of this world, our manifestos never made it to parliament. Our campaigns never made it to the rallies. Our votes never made it to the ballot boxes. Instead, they were cast at home. More specifically in the kitchen, because that's where our nannies and ummis and bibis found that their electorate paid the most attention. Rotis and rice became the currency of power, while empty thalis meant a landslide victory. You see, our foremothers realized that the woman who ruled the kitchen, ruled the roost, ruled the hungry men whose lifeblood came from the acrid smoke that choked our voices into the backs of our throats, and the masalas we spent generations grinding fresh every morning with the pestles we carved from our very own spines. So when our full-bellied men went off to fight the good fight against the enemy at the border, they left a war zone in their wake, turning wife against mother, woman against woman, our sisterhood taken prisoner, and our shattered bangles as collateral damage. But I was told that time heals all, so I flipped that hourglass and tried to catch the grains of sand, hoping that time was something I could bend. Fast forward to the moment in the movie where we would call each other friend. But I soon realized that while our constituencies can change, maybe we women are destined to destroy each other in the end. Yes, we've moved out of the kitchens and into the boardrooms, the operating theatres, the publishing houses, so you'd think some things would have changed. But our hatred of each other because of our hatred of ourselves meant that everything stayed just the same. We must be some sort of masochist because when we love our oppressors and fear our freedom, who else can we blame? While as doctors, we women have consecrated the anatomy of the human body to memory, created cures for diseases for over a century, but who knew our brown women politics would be so fucking hereditary? Our politics clung to us like a child to its mother's sari. Our politics grew up with us. No longer about satisfying those who could get their leg over us, but those who could give us a leg up, all while adorning us with gold-plated shackles that we wear with such pride because our complexions look that much brighter when our wrists and ankles are bruised in the color of internalized racism, masked in the guise of acceptance. Forget breaking through glass ceilings when you still fear cutting yourself open on my brownness, fear bleeding your own true color because no matter how hard you scrub, you will always come off too dark a shade of white. There's a reason we can never find the foundation that matches the color of our skin perfectly. Because they fear we might discover the richness we evaporate into the atmosphere if we learn to exist unapologetically, fear that we might desire to be anything else but different shades of alabaster, porcelain, or ivory. Forget the cries for representation when you still look at me and see competition instead of sister or shared hardships, because obviously the only way to uplift our communities is to eliminate our adversaries who, funnily enough, just so happen to look like you and me. In trying to breach the borders drawn up against us by white supremacy, I refuse to let our brown women politics be passed down on in my legacy. Elevating you means elevating me, means elevating all those dreams of our mothers that weren't allowed to be. We may have lost each other somewhere in this one-sided battle for equality. But know this, it is only when you stop hating yourself into invisibility and dare to demand our liberty, only then will we have won the wars that have been fought on the shores of our bodies for centuries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Orin Begum. Thoughts, opinions, advice?
That was such a powerful statement on brown intersectional feminism, and I think there was so much in there that I personally related to so much, and I think there's so many people in this room who are like, wow. So thank you so much for that. That was wonderful.
Another round of applause.